Okay, hey, so it's 12:58. It's almost 1 o'clock. Almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, and I'm getting on here to say I'm drunk. 10 months and 3 days sobriety, and I'm drunk. The most beautiful friend I've ever had shared with me tonight. The second most beautiful friend I've ever had shared with me tonight um, what drunk in the spirit is. And so it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have school and class and all that stuff in the morning. Yeah, at 4 o'clock. I get up at 4 o'clock. Uh, anyway, so I'm due up in 3 hours to start this, continuation of warrioring forward. And um, I'm drunk. I'm up late, drunk in the spirit, completely sober. And this night has been phenomenal. Learned that from her too. But it is something when it's a whole lot of something. When this stuff happens, the affirmations come flying like like the shots from life, from the boxing and the challenges and the discouragement and the confusion, and then sequentially the distortion that comes from our own mind, my mind. Okay, so I don't even know how to explain all this. I want to share this thought uh, that God literally told me walking up the stairs. And I went down for a quick cigarette. Preceding that, I've had a night of reconnection with family. Awesome posts on Facebook with family, um, reconnecting, reconnecting, and notice how I'm doing this. Okay, it's paradoxical because all day affirmations have been coming about. I shouldn't be reconnecting with family because my logic and that of others disagrees with it right now. I reconnected with a sister of mine tonight that who months ago, years ago, a couple years ago on Messenger sent me a little meme that I'll share with you in the morning, or that you'll see as part of my story once I post it. Um, Said if it's not in God's timing, don't force it. If it is in God's timing, you can't stop it. I talked with her tonight. I saw that, and then immediately after that I had not noticed, she had sent me a red table talk with Will Smith about amending relationships. This is sent to me in 2019, and I'm just seeing it on Messenger for some reason. I've been on Messenger for the past 2 3 years, whatever it is. How come I didn't notice it? Right? God's timing has to be. It is. So, and that's where I'm coming up to in the stage of rehabilitation or recovery, as stated or as set forth in the big book, which I haven't been following, but I've been following God, is making amends. And so I can feel this step coming. I can feel it coming. Um, and so watching this red table talk with Will Smith that was sent to me 3 years ago by my oldest sister, the first of my sisters that I need to amend my relationship with, is mapping out how to do it. And it's almost verbatim my story. There's a lot of similarities. Preceding that conversation was one with this friend of mine, and we're talking about trust. And the second meme that I saw was trust begins with truth and ends with truth, right? Another affirmation. So I'm seeing this, and I go out and smoke a cigarette. I'm having this awesome night of affirmations, and I'm walking up the stairs, and I had watched something earlier today talking about. I'm sorry, it was church last night, and the preacher talked about, amongst other things, I can hear God's voice now. He said, so used to it, and so blah blah blah, and it makes sense. The greater your relationship becomes with anybody, even here on earth, you recognize their voice, you recognize the way they breathe, you recognize their scent, right? So it makes sense. So I'm walking up the stairs, and I'm happy to be able to say this. I worked out this week. You guys know I got my ass kicked. I told you, and I'm prancing. I'm walking. I'm almost jogging up the stairs. I haven't been able to do it because of workout. But God told me this is the first time in my life that I'm able to discern this. You're walking stronger. You're feeling taller because you're stepping softer. And then I kicked it into high gear to get to my room and write it down. So I'll put this as part of my story, um, on Facebook tomorrow. And I don't know how many people are going to see this of my family, um, and friends that care, but that's not why I do these. I do these things to track my progress, to document my story. I guess mainly for myself and my kids one day, um, and for my girls, my sisters, my mom. Uh, but I had to write this down, and I decided to share this right now instead of wait till the morning. Well, it's already morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, but because this is what being on fire is. I'm finding out this is what drunk in the spirit is, right, Catherine? And if I don't share it now, why am I going to sleep on it? I've been doing that my whole life. I'll get to God tomorrow. I'll share God next week. I'll have this conversation with when I can sit down and journal, when I can write it, when I'm alone, when I put all these variables on it. I put all this around to it shit. When I get around to it, when the variables and the stars line up, and everything's right. And that is not the way to do this. Catherine again says, first things first. You know who else said that? My dad, my mom, our dad, our mom, right? Well, there you go, Stano. There's a problem, okay? Prioritizing, responsibility, accountability, character, fortitude, follow through, achievement, success, be, do, have. So, way longer video than I intend to make, but it takes this to communicate it. And I don't know. I'll know when I need to know. How many of you guys are all watching these things? And I'm directly saying, addressing my sisters, my mom. I'll show my kids one day. Um, but this stuff you almost got to share right away, because otherwise you forget, and the devil comes in and snags it from you, and then it's silly. Oh, I shouldn't share it. Well, here's my take on that. If I have been up at 1 o'clock in the morning, drunk on alcohol, high on whatever illicit drug, sharing and laughing and joking and being a criminal, being a poor example of what God has created me to be to myself, and thusly had a negative impact or influence on anybody around me, which I never had really the right to do, not in God's love, right? Um, then why in the hell shouldn't I, if I'm a warrior for Him, if I want to say thank you to God, then why in the hell can't I spend 5 more minutes or 9 minutes and 20 seconds more of my sleep time to put this out there? Because the brother took nails, clavos, they call them clavos, which means nails in Spanish, but they were clavos in this day and age for a carpenter are big, almost railroad tie sized nails that they use for decorating doors and decorative countertops. They drive these big old nails, ball peen, beat steel so that it looks rustic and took these nails in his hand, and I've shot myself with a nail gun before accidentally, and that's really that's quick, and it's nice compared to a nail this big, crack, crack through your hand. If he took this shit for me, I can't spend now 10 minutes and 33, 4 seconds on a video trying to get this stuff out. This stuff is not a joke. And it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's something to share. Whether somebody sees it or not, it's something to speak into existence. It's something faith comes by hearing, right? But faith without works, once I hear, once I witness, once I see, once he talks to me, without work or without action is dead. And I've been for over 43 years dead, dead in a slumber. So the time for family amends is coming. And I don't know that that's the next step, but it's coming. And so I'm gearing up, humbling down, to be ready for it, because it's not the amends that to myself that I need to make. It's the amends for you guys that I need to facilitate, and that's not something I'm willing to risk. So anyway, God is a bad dude. I thought, you guys have heard me say it. I'm a bad man, right? No, 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 Stan, you're not. No, you're not. God's a bad dude, and walk stronger, feel taller, right? Feel taller, and step softer. You girls all know this is the exact thing you guys have all been trying to tell me for 43, almost 44 years now. This is happening. Where would this stuff come from at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, if this wasn't? There's some things that you know is the truth and that people know and are truly experiencing because it's the only way they can know it and say it and speak of it and learn that in the streets, But anyway, I'm ecstatic. I hope you guys watch this. I'm gonna tag you guys in this. I hope you watch it. It's 13 minutes. It'll be done here in a second. Come on with me. That's what I want. That I think. Long story short, I am that guy that brings things together and that has an impact and an influence because of everything He gave me, God gave me, and I didn't really realize that before. And so now that I'm aware of it, it's incredibly kind of precious to me how I treat it. Kind of like Mom when she told me, "Be careful how you treat my son." Oh, I know now, Mama. I I I know. I mean I'm learning. So anyway, I gotta go to sleep. What are you all keeping me up for? Because you guys are all in my mind and in my heart, and the more it comes back, I guess the more I guess the more I want to go back and have you guys back. So, okay, I gotta end it now. I love you guys. Look forward to hearing from you guys, and there's some good things coming up in the future. There's some badass things coming up in the future. I don't know what they are. I just know they're cool. So I'm gonna go to sleep and dream. Trujillo Tribe, I love you. I'll see you guys soon. Toodle-doo.